All right. What's up, YouTube? So, what you got behind me is an indication that DontNod is cooked unless they can find another backer. DontNod is projected to run out of cash by November 2026 unless they can find another backer. Their previous backer said, you know what, we cannot support this anymore. Your last games were flops. They didn't meet our sales expectations, so we gotta bounce. That's basically what Tencent said. They're like, we gotta bounce because their last games they meet our quota to continue supporting you guys. And don't know the studio behind the original Life is Strange 2, Tell Me Why, Vampire, and all these other games. And I felt this coming from a mile away, to be honest, since Deck 9 took over the Life is Strange title. Because, in my opinion, I thought Life is Strange 2 was a great game. And it'd been nice to see content about other characters that we haven't really seen that much of. Like, you wrapped up Sean and Daniel's story, but we could still dig into other characters like Lila. And I think a lot of people will like a DLC about her or something. Or maybe a DLC about the freight hoppers before they ended up at the camp in episode 3 or something like that. Donut could have had some great ideas had they kept to their roots, which is story based games like Lost Records Boom and Rage. And in my opinion, Lost Records Boom and Rage was an amazing game. I enjoyed it. Like the nostalgia, dipping into the 90s and in that era. I enjoyed that game. And Don't Nod's latest title, Aphelion, I didn't vibe that game. Like, I didn't enjoy it the same way I did Life is Strange and Lost Records. And Aphelion felt like Tomb Raider, but in space. We're YouTubers, right? That means we have to know what our audience wants. And if you're not posting the content that your audience wants, guess what? They're gonna unsubscribe from your channel, right? So if Donut's audience want games like in the Lost Records bracket, and then they put out a space game, that's not your target audience. You have to stick to your target audience. Donut could collab with Supermassive Games. Like if Donut wanted Aphelion to kind of be wanted to be an upgrade from what they normally did with Lost Records, Supermassive Games would have been an excellent candidate for them to collab with. Because Supermassive does story games and where your actions have consequences, just like Life is Strange. So Supermassive would have been an excellent candidate for that. Instead of Aphelion being more like Tomb Raider, because it did feel like Tomb Raider. And then maybe Don't Not could have fixed it to where our choices affect our relationships or something. Give us some more characters. You have these two characters and your choices affect their relationship or something. You like Rockstar games, right? For Grand Theft Auto. Each game is different. Each game has a unique city, unique protagonists, and missions, but they stick to their same roots. Where players like to travel to the mission to activate it and whatever. Imagine if Rockstar dropped a game like Madden. Then you're gonna be like, what is this? This isn't why I supported you. I support you because you make games like Grand Theft Auto and something like that. Or like Red Dead Redemption, right? Or you want a game like Red Dead Redemption. Imagine if Rockstar they dropped a game like Undertale or Deltarune. That's not why you support that developer. You have to follow your roots. It's okay to do upgrades, but as long as you stick to the main plot. Like with Deltarune Chapter 5, I said in my stream that some of the segments reminded me of Mario, but it kept the same roots of a nice pixie indie game. Unless Don't Knock can think of a plan quickly, yep, they are DONE done. And Don't Knock was one of my favorite developers, and Life is Strange was my introduction to story-based games as well as The Walking Dead Telltale. Like The Walking Dead Telltale came in first place with my introduction, while Life is Strange came in second place. Instead of the space game, Don't could have given us a DLC for Lost Records, like Swan moving to a new town. A lot of kids can relate to that, being a new kid in a new town, new school, starting all over. No, a bunch of kids could have related to that, and I thought it could sell. I don't think Lost Records didn't reach that quota. Like, yeah, this is a good success because the game sucked. I believe it didn't reach that quota or whatever you call it because a handful of people didn't know the game even existed. Because when you think about it, I barely saw any advertising for Aphelion. I barely saw anything around that. The only thing I remember was like a 1 minute trailer last year. And I do not remember any or having seen it across my feed Haven't seen any promotion since then. First, I can't even spell it. This is okay. Let's see what it says. Hmm. Okay. So there, I see some gameplays. I see a review from an Xbox player. I see a 3 minute review, but I'm looking for any indication or any promotion or any ads or trailers prior to this release. So there was a reveal trailer in 2025 when I type in affiliate on YouTube. And since the reveal trailer, I don't recall seeing any promotional content towards the game since that reveal trailer. Maybe you saw it and in my feed just wasn't helping me out that time, but it says this person said another taxpayer funded game flops hard. I don't think it flopped because it sucked, but because it's not reaching the target audience. Like DontNod is not reaching their target audience. See, based on when I played the game, based on playing Aphelion, it's a better fit for the audience that likes Tomb Raider. You know, like the Tomb Raider games, the newer Tomb Raider games. That if the Aphelion fits that audience and collabing in from in my opinion, if DontNod wanted to match or wanted to upgrade, then kind of taking a page from Supermassive games would have been their best bet because Supermassive is the same plot where you have to make choices and your choices can have consequences. So if DontNod made Aphelion to where my choices can cost me a character or get me a bad ending, but I'm looking for any promotional content since the trailer we got last year. We got a gameplay trailer 7 months ago. Since then, I don't see any promotional content like a sneak peek or 20 minutes of gameplay from Aphelion. You know what I'm saying. And you have all these less players and streamers right here that can promote your game. If you can't afford to advertise in a way that say Naughty Dog does, then DontNod can make a demo like the first 20 minutes of gameplay and then email some streamers, be like, hey, we're working on this game. We're looking for people to play the first 20 minutes and tell us what they think. And that's a great way to get your product out there. Because remember, what like I said, if people don't even know your game exists or your product exists, how do you expect them to find it? If you're not advertising and saying, hey, promote my product. Because I follow Dom the Bomb. He would have been an excellent candidate for reviewing the first 20 minutes of your game because he gets access to other games. Like he got access to um what's the game called? Reunion. And there's another lady on TikTok called Captain Lauren, and she has a pretty sized following. She would have been an excellent candidate. A lot of creators, if you look for them, that would have been an excellent fit. Just like with Deltarune, chapters 1 and 2 were a demo, so that gave people time to play the game, see if they like it. Let's player streamers streamed it, let's played it, and then look what happens. It's so popular. And don't not have to remember, they're a smaller studio. They're not like Naughty Dog where they can make maybe 2 posts about it and people will still come back looking for more. They're a smaller studio. And when you're a smaller studio with a smaller audience, you have to be a little more strategic with your promotion. But all I see is just a lot of content saying this game was a major flop. But, to review, since I see exclusive look, New Game Plus showcase 5 months ago. But since we got that trailer, you can't really say, hey, we're going to drop this game February 15th. And then you make no promotional content leading up to it. The same with Lost Records. I don't think Lost Records didn't meet that quota because it sucked, but because nobody knew it existed. I don't know. It seemed like the game was rushed. Like, we only had 2 characters the entire game. Imagine if they were together, right? They were stranded together. Here's what I think. What if the game was about a group of people on a space mission and their ship crashes, and then we're in groups because we're super massive. You switch characters periodically. So what if they were in groups with this space game? They traveled in groups. They got separated, and then you switch between each group, group A, B, C, D, and each choices the group makes lead to losing a character or getting a bad ending, or maybe one ending they escape, a bad ending they're stranded on the planet forever, whatever. I don't. Maybe it's just me, but that would have been a good plot for a game. And like I said, DontNod could consider a collab with Supermassive because it seems like that's more in their alley than this. This is more like, stick to your roots. But I really don't want to see DontNod go under because, like I said, I would love a Lost Records sequel, maybe even a prequel, maybe even a DLC with Swan. Being a new kid in a new town, people could relate to that. So DontNod has about 4 months, and once we hit July, they're gonna have less than 4 months to figure something out. Oh, and I had another idea. When they released Life is Strange 2, how people waited like a month between episodes. Also, keep in mind, gamers may not want to wait months for episodes anymore. Some people sometimes just want to get right into it and play the whole game. And you could say, oh, I miss theorizing between episodes. Well, you can still do that, with the release footage that we get. So, Lost Records was put on PlayStation Plus immediately upon release. So, they missed out on potential sales to meet their quota. And after it was taken off of PlayStation Plus, it was on Xbox Game Pass. So, you're missing out. You missed your chance for sales. So, how about that? Wait until your game has been out for at least a couple months and then put it on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus for people that couldn't afford it upon release. Because for Xbox, I had a discount. Like the game was, I think, $40, and then it was $5 off upon release. That's okay. Like maybe taking off a couple dollars, but immediately putting it on Game Pass. Now a game that I would put on Game Pass, like Mixtape, where it took like 3 hours to complete. A game like that I put on Game Pass. But for a game like Lost Records, where I can get 10 hours of gameplay, I would wait. Like wait till your game's been out for a bit, and then put it on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. So we just have to see what happens between now and November. A lot can happen between now and November. Maybe DontNod can find a backer to fund them, but the only thing we can do is wait and see what happens. Hopefully, they do not close down because this is one of my favorite game developers, and there are probably other games by DontNod I have not played yet. But if you want to see, if you don't want DontNod to close, then I suggest you buy their games. Like the original Life is Strange. The remastered is Deck 9, but the original Life is Strange was DontNod. Get the original Life is Strange 2, Tell Me Why, or Vampire, Lost Records, Remember Me, or whichever. This will help. And make videos, make videos on TikTok, and make sure other people learn about these games. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And this is the first time I've done a video like this. It's only my third day out here, so keep that in mind. And also, I'm into VTubing now, so still got a lot to learn and still got to learn the ropes. So, see you guys. Isn't it adorable when my avatar waves at you? See you guys.